Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of FitzRupee Cast featuring WSE Retribution. Red-Rupee here calling the games for you today. And getting started, I want to remind you guys that the ESL Mid-Range Cup is happening tomorrow. That's on Saturday, March 3rd. So they seem to have had quite a few people sign up for that, so be sure to check that out. I'm unfortunately going to be out of town, so I will not be covering that myself, but I'm sure if you hop over to Game Replays, I'll put the link in the description. You can probably find out who they've got casting that, or at least running some sort of live stream there. And let's see, what else do we got? I've got a user submitted replay today I'm doing. And that reminds me, you know, I know a lot of you guys are sending in lots of cool replays and stuff like that, and I haven't casted too many recently, but I am trying to watch all of those, and I will cast them as, you know, as I need those type of games. So don't hesitate, keep sending those in. I am keeping up with those replays, of course. I'm sure we'll see some more user-submitted ones come up here in the near future. And anyways, keep that in mind. The last game I did was obviously a Game Replays replay of the week over there with all those lictors. Got all kinds of comments on there. So keep that going. I love when people discuss the games as we, after I post them. I love seeing people go back and forth and say what they thought was right or what went wrong, or don't hesitate to tell me when I said something wrong either. I'm certainly not the be-all, end-all knower of strategy over here. I myself only consider myself a kind of upper mid-level player, so, you know, keep those conversations going. I like hearing what you guys think of the various games and things like that. Anyways, as you can see, today we are on Greentooth Gorge, and I actually like this map a lot myself. There are lots of garrisons around, so I'm a big fan of using those. I know a lot of people have mixed feeling about the garrisons, but anyways, it's just a nice open map. Lots of different things you can do. There's cover all over the place. Garrisons, as I mentioned, you got your natural power right in front of your base either side, and then you got a secondary one over here. 3 rec points in the back for each player. You can see those down on the minimap, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And then the VP is spread right across the middle here. And this middle battleground always seems to be the final place of contestation when we get this game started. So as you can see, we're going to get going here. We've got the Warp Spider Exarch versus the Stalwart Farseer. Some cool Craft World Ulthway Farseer action over here. So I'm sure we're going to see this Warp Spider make use of those various garrisons and stuff like that throughout the game. We'll have to see, though. As you can see right now, we have the same build order, both players getting those early Banshees. Warp Spider going for an early harass, though, right out of the gate here. And we're going to see which of these commanders. I feel like the Warp Spider can definitely take this map control early game versus the Farseer, but the Farseer will have the late game advantage with the synergy between, like, Banshees and the Autarch and things like that. So we'll have to see how the game plays out. Warp Spider still trying to harass that Farseer. Got him pretty low, actually. And look, yep, there he goes, right into that garrison. Gonna be able to kind of keep this point from getting captured right now and just lock that down. Banshees and Farseer are probably gonna have to retreat from it already. So the only other contestation we'll have is between the Guardians on this side of the map. So anyways, it'll be interesting to see whether the Farseer's support style with her army will outdo the Warp Spider's sort of harass and map control style. So there goes a Banshee model, and they have to fall back. In the meantime, it looks like the Bravery is popping all 3 generators up right here. We've got 2 down here for Mr. Artemullen. I didn't even introduce the players. I am slacking today. The Bravery calling out a little bit of annoyance right there by the Warp Spider.
We must save the lost ones.
And right now it looks like we've just got two squads of Guardians in a little duel over here. Of course, red teams down here has some nice green cover, so no worries right there. Of course, Guide going off as well. Gonna force those Farseers back, most likely. And in the meantime, Artemullen here has managed to take some pretty solid map control. Has a 2-0 cap right now thanks to the harassing of his Warp Spider, being very aggressive with him, and managed to capture all his rec points and one of the Braveries as well. So we'll have to see how that plays out. In the meantime, the Bravery bringing on some Rangers. Rangers are kind of like the thing you expect to see in Eldar Mirrors, as they can one-shot models off of all 3 of the starting Eldar squads. Banshees other Rangers, and of course Guardians as well. So we'll have to see if that puts a cramp on Artemullen's style right here. Warp Spider coming back to try and defend this power farm. You can see it looks like Art has actually gone a very high power build right now. I guess going to try to fast tech into tier 2 right now. He did get a very nice opening with map control, and the Banshees are uncontested over here, tearing up some power. Oh no, those two Ranger support members moved way close to those Banshees and are getting chopped up in the meantime. Actually, it looks like all three of those models got out, so pretty nice. Oh, that was weird. Why did that one die? That's odd indeed. So anyways, Banshee's still hacking away at power over here, while Art is trying to defend his own. Looks like he's managed to not lose any generators, and took out a couple Banshees there as well. Got to be very careful getting into those garrisons. Oh, here comes a Guardian grenade right now. Oh, and it looks like it actually didn't quite hit. Oh, it did some nice damage to that Warp Spider. It didn't damage the Guardians at all, actually. So Banshees took out 2 generators over here, and Art is heading into tier 2 already. So with that nice opening, we saw Art manage to just go ahead, took advantage of that map control, and just spent all his rec on power. Only sitting with 2 squads right now compared to the Bravery's 4. So we'll have to see what comes in on tier 2 to really make this count. You can see he could already, probably by the time he hits tier 2, can afford himself a Wraithlord or a Falcon. So a vehicle at this stage in the game could really put a hurting on the Bravery, who spent quite a bit on tier 1. You can see he went that one of everything build for Eldar right now, which is normally pretty effective. But we'll have to see how that works. In the meantime, I really think these Rangers should be running around and trying to pick off some models throughout the map. Map control is not in his favor right now, and he wants to try to take out these power farm. I understand, realizing now how far behind in tech he is. But I think he should try to lock down that map control and set up some power of his own. So, and yep, there comes the Wraithlord. So that's, the Bravery isn't even close to tier 2 yet. Gonna have a hard time dealing with that as soon as it hits the field.
We must save the lost one.
Our kin watch from aloft.
So Art is just ignoring that power bash right there. He knows that he's far enough ahead in tech that he can kind of just ignore that for now. You don't really want to lose power, but in this case, he's just taking all of the Bravery's map away from him. I mean, you can see how much more wreck, and obviously having a tech advantage and map control advantage right now. So Art is sitting in a pretty good position. Grenade there tagged one lone Guardian out of that squad. And wow, the Bravery actually getting a second Shuriken. That is an unfortunate situation, because there is already a Wraithlord on the field, stomping out here to deal with these Banshees that are on Art's power. So with this kind of tech advantage, Art should have no problem finishing this game out at this point. You can see the Warp Spider is actually decapping that final wreck point on this side of the map. Bravery has managed to get 2 of Art's natural wreck points, but the only thing Art needs to do now, I feel, is kind of use some of this extra wreck. He doesn't have enough to call in a Warp Spider squad right yet. Oh no, Warp Spider getting very low right there. Warped over here behind these Guardians. It looks like he's actually going to go down. He's got 11, 10. Oh, and there goes a Ranger shot and takes him out. Oh man. So Art needs to really put this Wraithguard to some use right here. Or Wraithlord. I keep saying Wraithguard, but it's Wraithlord, I know.
As ever, behold our new possession.
And Art getting leaders on both of his squads right now. Kind of lost some wreck there by losing that hero. Gonna be a bit behind in map control now, because you can see the Bravery is doing a great job of dealing with this walker. He's pretty much just ignoring it and trying to take as much of the map as he can. He's just keeping his units very far away from that walker. Banshee's kind of caught this Farseer out of position, but she's going to get out of there without too much issue. Oh, a nice looking grenade! Oh wow, right in the middle of that Banshee squad. Oh, and a Ranger shot takes out the Exarch. Excellent play right there. I know you can't choose who the Rangers shoot at, but that was a nice choice of targets there for those Rangers. So the grenade took out a couple Banshees and an Exarch, and the Bravery just doing a great job of stalling out. This Wraithlord's actually just kind of over here trying to stab some power right now. Doesn't have a shuriken cannon upgrade or anything like that yet. I feel like this Wraithlord could be doing something more productive than killing power. I feel like Art should really just send his Banshees over there to deal with power and use that Wraithlord to harass this little force over here, the Rangers, Guardians, and Shuriken Cannon. But we'll have to see how that works out. Wraithguard's just actually Wraithlord, there I go once again, and they just don't particularly take out power very fast. You can see not doing too much damage right there. In the meantime, Warp Spider's back on the field. Hanging around, still no gear on him. In the meantime, we've got the Ghost Helm actually on the Farseer, which probably actually worked pretty well in this matchup. Of course, with that Ghost Helm, you can kind of suppress that Warp Spider and take him out of the battle if you need to. And it's also excellent, of course, for taking out these Eldar squad leaders like the Guardian Warlock or the Banshee Exarch. So, anyways, Bravery's done a great job of stalling the Tier 2, has a Bright Lance on the field now, and is putting some pressure on this Wraithlord. Guardians didn't quite finish that decap, but they're going to try to take out that last generator. In the meantime, Banshee's charging up right now, knocking those Guardians all over the place. Those Guardians need to get out of there, or the Wraithlord needs to turn around and reinforce those. Banshee's taking out quite a few models right there. Only 2 Guardians getting out of that squad. And the Bravery just did a great job of just holding out till Tier 2. That Wraithlord came onto the field, but didn't really make too much of an impact, unfortunately. Spent a lot of time killing power. Bravery's Banshee's caught out of position once that Banshee War Scream goes down. But this Wraithlord should probably heal up a little bit before it goes out back into battle. Art is going to need to keep track of that Bright Lance pretty well. And there it goes. And here comes the Mind War right on top of that Banshee Exarch. Just as I said, she's going to go in for the kill, it looks like. And there she goes. Mind War in one swing, and that Exarch goes down. So a costly loss there for Art. Art's now heading into Tier 3. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. He only has 2 squads on the field, and while he is holding his side of the map, he's really not pushing it all. I think it would be much more advantageous to bring maybe a squad of Warp Spiders or 2 onto the field. Or maybe even an extra squad of Guardians to keep this Wraithlord healthy. A grenade going down, trying to do a little bit of damage to that Wraithlord. He does do a special attack and doesn't really do anything to those Guardians as they had already retreated. But with only these 2 squads on the field, Art is going to have to be very vigilant about keeping his map control at this point. Again, we're seeing these Banshees take shots at this power node. They should really just fall back and either stay out of sight or go up top and make sure that VP stays in their control. Looks like the Bravery tried to drop a nice little warp gate trick back here to take on some of Art's power, but Art saw it and is taking it out. So unfortunate waste of 75 red right there. So let's see, Bravery bringing on some Warp Spiders. Art sitting on a big pile of resource right now. I'm not sure if he's just going to hold out for an avatar at this point or what. He could purchase a Fire Prism if he so chose, or really anything else at this point. The Avatar is really the only thing that he would be saving up for at this point in time. I'm just getting all of my Eldar words mixed up all over the place today, so bear with me. In the meantime, Warp Spider kind of jumping up out of position here. Don't want to warp into an unsupported position. We can see, oh, Mind War going down. He might go down. He does with the last tick of Mind War right there. Excellent play. You can see the Farseer has the Gravity Blade right now, so we'll be able to lift these Banshees up out when the time comes and keep them out of the battle. So still no upgrade on this Wraithlord, surprisingly enough. There's a lot of infantry on the field. There's really no reason not to get that Shuriken Cannon upgrade. It really updates or upgrades rather, the DPS on that range fire. Warp Spider's on the field, but oh, here comes the Haywire Grenade. This Wraithlord's going to be in a lot of trouble. A nice looking grenade going down on that Bright Lance though, and taking it out of the fight. Guardian's going to try to get in melee combat with that, but they're taking a lot of fire. Oh, and the Banshees might actually finish off this squad. They're moving very quickly. Warp Spider is actually going to be able to take that out. Oh, and the Rangers sneak the kill with one last sniper shot right there. I'm not sure this Wraithlord is getting out of here. Banshees, Bright Lance, Warp Spider, and everything just firing on it. It's down to 60 HP. If that Exarch gets another swing, and there it goes. Wow, Art is down to just his hero and a squad of Banshees, while the Bravery actually sitting with a full army still. Art was ahead in VPs, but now down by about 100 VPs. Really, you're kind of seeing the disadvantage of this fast tech is that you spend so much money. You know, that's 600 rec and about 275 power just getting into your tier 3 here, and you can see just the difference in army composition. Warp Spider's trying to get a retreat kill after we saw Mind War once again take out that Banshee Exarch, but the Avatar's coming onto the field strong, not afraid of anything, getting a kill on one of those Warp Spiders, and now just going to charge headlong into this Bright Lance and force it off the field. Bravery has plenty of stuff on the field, but really can't contend with that Avatar right now. But I mean, really with how little Art has on the field, Bravery can continue what he's been doing and just run around the map and just decap and keep the map control and stall out till he catches back up. You can see Wraithguard coming on the field. A bit of a curious choice there. I wouldn't have expected Wraithguard to be your answer for an Avatar right here. We can see another warp gate going up down here, so gonna use that to escape from the potential base smash situation right here from this Avatar. He just escapes right out of there, and now the Avatar's really got nothing to do. And that's the problem that we saw with that Wraithlord as well, is that it came onto the field and just didn't have anything to do. Like, it kind of hung out and killed some power, but that's a job Banshees could have done. And I really think Art should have just gotten himself some additional tier 2 forces before heading into tier 3. And wow, Art is just getting led like a stuck pig here with these Banshees. This is the second time now they've returned to base with just 2 members after being fully upgraded with Exarch and everything else. So Art currently bringing a Fire Prism onto the field, which while will probably be very effective, I think he just needs to get himself just some infantry to bring onto the field right now. Oh man! Those Wraithguard came onto the field, and I guess the Bravery wasn't paying attention. Oh, it looks like an Altarch just took out the Warp Spider over here, but the Bravery wasn't paying attention to his newly acquired Wraithguard, and the Avatar just chopped them up right there. A Wailing Doom going down, trying to take out that Warp Gate, not quite hitting it. It hits spot on, but doesn't kill it. And now we have the Fire Prism on the field for Art. He needs to be very careful with these Banshees. Level 1 versus level 2, and they didn't have an Exarch on them, so that's not going to work out very well. Art's VPs are very quickly ticking down right now, though. And now we're seeing this Avatar a bit out of position, facing off against an entire army, unsupported. And it actually looks like Mind War was used. Can you use Mind War on an Avatar? I believe that's what just happened. I'm not sure. I thought I saw a little red circle around that. That may not have happened. It looks like the Farseer is pretty full on energy right there. Avatar takes a swing and finishes off that Banshee Exarch on the way out, but needs to be very careful. It's very low. Here goes the levitation field, picking up all of those Banshees. Fire Prism actually doing a bit of friendly fire right there, but with this Bright Lance sitting way up here, that Fire Prism can't really get close. 3-0 cap with 120 points for Art. He needs to get back out onto the field. Either purchase that Warp Spider back or purchase himself a squad of Warp Spiders. He does have plenty of red to do that now. I really think he just needs to get some infantry squads on the field, and that'll help him hold this map. In the meantime, that Avatar, is actually coming back out on the field. I would have left that back there, but I guess with a 3-0 cap, there's really not too much you can do. In the meantime, this Warp Spider needs to get it on this... I don't know why he teleported to the point. He should have gotten on the Bright Lance. Oh no, and here comes an Eldritch Storm right on top of that Bright Lance, takes it out. That's another use of red, I suppose you could do. Didn't want to get those Warp Spiders on the field, had enough for a nuke and used it pretty well right there. Here comes a nice looking Wailing Doom. Oh, and the Guardians and Rangers everywhere. unfortunately, looks like there's not going to be anything that Art can do about this. He's down to just about anything. Oh no! Altark takes out the Avatar. Oh man. And with a couple swings of that Executioner, that heavily wounded Avatar did not stand up to it. So anyways, oh wow, and it looks like actually Art is getting a cap here. Slow that VP bleed down just a little bit. Warp Spider going to get up here. Actually going to be able to hold out for a little while here, and that's why you don't call GG early. You never know what's going to happen. Art, unfortunately though, just doesn't have what it takes, I think, to keep this position. Oh, and once again we're seeing this Warp Gate used with excellent strategic value right here, and coming up behind and taking this VP back, completely once again ignoring the higher tech threats. And just running around and holding map. Art hasn't purchased a single infantry squad outside of those initial Banshees and lost his Guardians, so really just can't do anything. Doesn't have either of his power at this point in the game, and just doing everything he can to stay in the game. Luckily, he did manage to accumulate enough power while he had both of those built that he still has 200 power sitting in the bank. Oh no! Oh, Haywire Grenade going down on that Fire Prism. And Banshees up here look like they're going to go down. I don't think they'll actually win that fight. Oh, they did retreat, but it's going to cost them some models. But Art needs to get a VP back in his favor right now. Farseer's capturing middle, his Banshees and Warp Spider capturing the 2 exterior points. And this Fire Prism actually doing a pretty decent job right now of harassing the Eldar army. Really what he needs to do, though, is take out this Warp Gate. Artark jumping in, gonna try to do some damage to the rear armor of that Fire Prism, but it is of course too quick and is just gonna fall back from that Altark. Not really worrying about it too much. So we're seeing Banshees come up behind these Guardians. Hopefully they'll be able to do something right here and protect this Fire Prism, because Art is building a second Fire Prism actually. And, oh no, Fire Prism once again doing some pretty nasty friendly fire right there. And those Banshees, he knows there's a gate here. He needs to get over here and take out this gate. But, wow, Art's doing a great job right now. If he can capture a couple of these points, Fire Prisms are invaluable tools for holding map control. They can just hang way back and just do some constant knockdown. It's pretty much like having a mobile plasma dev, you know, watching a point. Gonna do consistent knockback. 2 Fire Prisms can definitely be a pain. And Art should just, if he can hold out for just a little while longer, he can get some more infantry squads on the field now that he has these 2 Fire Prisms. But, oh no, this gate is still up, and now here comes the Warp Spiders coming in. Gonna do, oh wow, I guess they didn't have a grenade right there. Guardians drop a grenade, but the Altark's not attacking. But unfortunately for Art, despite this excellent last stand right here with this double Fire Prism, he's just not going to be able to hold the map. There goes the VP, and the last couple of VPs are going to tick away right there. Wow, so, oh man. Interesting play by Art, really going for that heavy early tech, but didn't quite work out for him. He could have had that game the way that early game went, but you know, he didn't build any infantry squads, lost his first vehicle, and his Avatar just was a little too cocky with the tech advantage that he had. Sent his tier 2 and 3 units out there without any support, and you can see that it cost him. So anyways, that was a pretty interesting game right there. We see the advantage and disadvantages of that fast tech right now, and you know, tech is nice, but the game, when it comes down to it, is about map control. So anyways, this is Red-Rupee. I hope you guys enjoyed the game. Be sure to check out the ESL Cup this weekend. I'm going to be out of town. I'm sure someone great will be casting it. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next time.